Hello, I am Blaze, and it's been hard to get myself to make videos again. I guess that's inertia for you. Hopefully this will help get the ball rolling again. I haven't played Warframe for some time, though I am going to get back to it soon-ish, if Digital Extremes can stop making highly questionable decisions for 5 minutes. While I've been away, I've been playing some Pokemon, getting way the hell in over my head with nerf modding, and Elite Dangerous, which you're seeing right now. I'd like to talk about Elite Dangerous a bit, give a general overview of what it's about, and maybe it will sound appealing to you and you'll want to give it a shot. Elite Dangerous is a sequel to the old Elite series that started on the old home computer systems. We're talking the ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64 and Amiga days back in the 80s. And until Elite Dangerous came along, the last game in the series was Frontier First Encounters back in 1995. So yeah, there's a little history lesson for you. The game itself is a space simulator, primarily centered around trading and combat, though it also provides exploration opportunities across the Milky Way galaxy. And the game boasts a 1-to-1 scale, so space is appropriately vast. Typical distances within a star system can range to thousands of light seconds, and I was pretty amazed by the scale. You lock your destination, you approach, you catch a visual of something entering your vision, only to realize that what you're seeing isn't the moon or station you're heading towards, but the planet that it's orbiting. And only after you get even closer do you begin to see your actual destination. It's awe-inspiring. It can also be a bit of a pain in the ass though. Some systems have stations or other points of interest orbiting a different star that can be hundreds of thousands of light seconds away. You can travel at superluminal speeds through your ship's frame shift drive, which can gradually accelerate up to 2001: A Space Odyssey times the speed of light. But even then, when your destination is that far away, you can safely get up and get a cup of tea for 5 or 10 minutes before you actually get anywhere close. Fortunately, you can generally avoid making those kinds of trips unless you really want to and just hang around the system's primary star. Needless to say, traveling between systems with that drive wouldn't really happen, so you also have the hyperdrive incorporated into your frameshift drive to jump between systems. This part of the travel technology is apparently reverse-engineered alien technology, but you don't need to worry about the lore behind it too much. So yes, you're given perhaps the biggest sandbox possible without invoking intergalactic travel. But what is there to do? Well, like I said, the 3 main points of progression, and the 3 main things the game keeps track of via the Pilot Federation ranks, are combat, trade, and exploration. Combat is probably the most fun and in-depth part of the game, and is also an extremely good starting point to get your first big sums of credits, though obviously it's also the most risky. You can bounty hunt for NPCs or other players. Yes, the game is actually an MMO, though you can choose whether to play in open or on your own, with a wanted status and pick up the bounty for yourself. Or you can go to a system currently at war, fly into a combat zone, pick a side and start earning combat bonds. Combat bonds tend to be worth quite a bit less than bounties, but I think you're intended to combine that with faction missions that actually task you with going to the combat zones and taking out the other side's ships for a substantial reward payout. Bounty hunting is best done either at navigation beacons orbiting the system's star, or by going to a resource extraction site that is usually found on a planetary ring, and hanging around for NPCs that are there to try and steal from the ships that are trying to mine resources. Particularly when you're just starting out, you can wait for the system's police force to shoot at a wanted target, then join in yourself later by just giving them the occasional poke. They shouldn't start shooting at you if you don't throw out sustained fire, and as long as you shot them fairly recently when they blow up, you will still get the bounty. Of course, you can also play the bad guy yourself, as the game fully supports being able to steal and engage in piracy as well. Though personally it's not something I find appealing. Likewise, you can try to take up mining for yourself for a combined experience of some combat and some trade. If you do want to try mining, there are a few things you'll need. A mining laser or 2 is mandatory, as that's the only way you can extract resources from asteroids, and a refinery is also mandatory for being able to pick up and refine fragments you chip off the asteroid. To actually have a smooth experience, you should be getting the biggest refinery you can find, so that you can fit lots of different resource chunks, collector limpets to scoop up the fragments for you instead of having to manually get them one by one, and prospector limpets to double the resources an asteroid has, as well as letting you see the exact material composition. and a decent combat loadout, because when you start getting value in your cargo hold, would-be NPC robbers and pirates will start shooting at you, and being able to show them your own teeth and pick up some bounty vouchers along the way is nice. Pure trading requires a ship with a large cargo capacity to actually do well, and basically turns the game into Space Truck Simulator 3303. There are a couple of ways to do it. You can trade large volumes of conventional commodities, or you can find and ship rare commodities. Conventional commodities are, well, conventional. You go to a station with a high supply of something, buy a shitload of it, jump to another system with a station that has a high demand for that commodity, and sell for a big profit. Preferably the destination station should also have the stuff the first station wants, so you can go back and forth making a lot of money. I highly recommend using the website eddb.io to find where to do this to remove the guesswork from where to go. Rare commodities work differently, meanwhile. They are unique to a specific station within a specific system, and you will only be able to have a limited allocation of them per trip. But the further away you travel from their place of origin, the more you will be able to sell the rare commodity for. Generally, you will get to a large profit per unit after traveling 150 light years away or more. So, when you have ships with a more limited cargo capacity, trading rare commodities is probably the fastest way to go about trading for profit. After you get a ship that can carry a few hundred tons of cargo though, it'll be faster to just haul standard items in bulk. Finally, there's exploration. Again, this will have a larger barrier to entry in terms of startup costs, but not so much as for trading effectively. The only thing you definitely need will be a fuel scoop, so you can refuel for main sequence stars along your journey. A fuel scoop is good to have generally as well, but if you're exploring and venturing far from inhabited space, this is a requirement. Unless you want your ship to run out of fuel and go dead floating through the cold emptiness of space a mere handful of jumps from where you started, in which case, go nuts. Actually enjoying it will require some other things though. An advanced discovery scanner is the other big useful thing to have, as it will let you see everything in your current system when you use it, rather than just a certain radius around your ship. A detailed surface scanner will also let you get a detailed scan of the celestial body's surface, as you might expect, and will make your information more valuable. And an auto field maintenance unit will let your ship fix itself up from the various bumps and scrapes on long journeys. And if you have the Horizons expansion, you can bring an SRV, and you can actually fly around planets and go driving if you feel like it to look for resources or other random events. Sadly, you can only venture into other planets with little or no atmosphere right now, but maybe someday we'll be able to fly around on an Earth-like planet. Exploration expeditions can last for a very long time, but it is something worth trying out. And if you get back to inhabited space in one piece, you can sell all the information you collected by scanning systems and planets on your journey for credits as well. Personally, I found combat to be the most engaging part of the game, though I have tried out everything else I just listed as well. Trading wasn't really my thing, but the exploration aspects were nice. Perhaps I'll make my own journey out to Beagle Point or the black hole at the galaxy's center sometime. But I have been enjoying Elite Dangerous so far. Though, if you want to try it for yourself, do be warned. The later ships are expensive and will take you a lot of time to get to if you want to shoot for them. And Elite Dangerous is kind of a niche title that won't be for everyone. But there's nothing really wrong with that. It is also one of those games that don't really hold your hand at all when you start, much like Warframe itself or PlanetSide 2. Funnily enough, I just seem to keep gravitating towards games like that. Though that does mean that the game is a bit more of a hard sell due to not being a free-to-play title. But I've been enjoying it so far, and I've worked up my way to a Python, which is one of the late-game ships, so maybe it'll be of some interest to you as well. In any case, I have been Blaze, and until next time, as always, good luck, have fun, and take care.